we made it through the 2023 NBA season, crowned the Denver Nuggets as NBA champions. But now we're in the offseason, and this is where we get to focus in on these NBA storylines and these NBA streets. Let me tell you, what do you think about the loyalty of Damian Lillard and Bradley Beal essentially coming to an end, because now they're open to the idea of being moved, and usually they're like, oh nah, I'm staying put. What do you think about that?
I think it's about time. I think it's about time, and oddly enough, if they've watched this Nuggets run, anything is possible. So now I think they feel like, okay, so I've been here for such a long time. I mean, with Bradley Beal, 8 seasons, and and maybe Damian Lillard, maybe 10, maybe. With the Portland Trailblazers. And if they saw what the Denver Nuggets put together just recently, right? I can only imagine that they're saying, all right, there may be a possibility that if I go somewhere else, I may be able to win a chip. If that's what they want to do. And it's really funny how Bradley Beal, I really think it's two things. Number one, they stayed because they want to get their top paper. That was number one. Now that they both have it, now they're willing to. And especially with Bradley Beal with his no trade clause in his contract. Like he can determine whether or not you're going to trade me based off of what the picks are. I mean, what the trade pieces are. What? So I think that it's time for them. It's clear for me as a fan that they will not be able to win in the market that they're in. It's clear. It's clear. Because if they would have all the pieces and all the adjustments that the organizations made around them for them and it still didn't work, I just don't know if they can go somewhere else. I mean, I just know that I don't think they can bring home a championship in their current market. So it's about time is what I think. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. It's just funny because I think both of them were drafted in 2012 and they've been with the same team throughout, unless I'm missing something there. But when you think about it, the Washington Wizards finished 12th, in the East, Portland. They just have not had a lot of success with Dame at the helm. So I think, it's definitely time. They got their paper. And I think for a while they were battling money versus championships.
And they took the money.
Chose money, right?
They took the money. Yeah. Now that they have their money, now championship hopefuls is probably a little bit heightened for them. And I agree. Hey, you know what? Everybody's basketball journey is different. And they said, give me my paper first. Then I win my championships later. And I'm cool with that.
Yeah, but the Los Angeles Clippers will need it next season because Ty Lue, I'm told, and the Clippers are very unlikely to come together on their contract extension. Now, Ty Lue is signed until summer of 2024. So next season will be his last season if they don't, extend him. What do you think about Ty Lue potentially leaving? And as a bonus, where do you see him providing the most value?
Well, right now, I don't think there's an open head coach position currently, unless something happens mid-season.
Right.
So based off of that, just as we speak today, he will be with the Los Angeles Clippers for the 24 season. Okay, that's fine. But if he wanted to shop his options, I'm okay with that. Because I would have to say that his time spent post, as I'm looking at it right now, wasn't as successful as I'm quite sure he could have been. It could have been. Yeah. Could have been. Not because of him, of course, but because of the pieces that he had to work with the lasting injuries of Kawhi Leonard and the other star in Paul George. So I don't think he had a consistent roster enough for him to really, really make it happen. And that was not on him, it's on them. So yeah, I'm okay with him wanting to say, you know what, when my contract is up, I'm looking elsewhere. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, because I think he kind of got the short end of the stick there, right? Thinking he was going to have this big time lineup and no one's ever available. So yeah, I would like to see Ty Lue, and I know Brad Stevens is going to hold on to your boy, golly, what's his name? Mazzulla. But I would love to see Ty Lue up in Boston. I would not mind.
Ty Lue in Boston. Interesting. Okay. I guess I can get on board with that. That's a nice thought. Okay. Ty Lue in Boston. Give me a minute. Just wait. I'm okay with it. I mean, I just know that the only way that Ty Lue will remain a Clippers head coach is if they go to the Western Conference Finals in the 2024 season. And
Mm.
if they go deep into the playoffs, I don't see him leaving, right? Because that's exactly what he is there for. I mean, what do Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and all the strong core pieces that they have, and they can't make it? Nah. Mm-mm. So yeah, if he wants to say, you know what, I did my time, I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking about changing the game, no, just playing. So Karl Anthony Towns said when it's all said and done, he knows that he's going to be remembered as someone who changed the game. What you think about that?
Change it how? What? You know what? I heard rumblings of that, and I'm like, girl, please, you gotta win. You gotta win ball games first. You gotta go deep in the playoffs before people start saying, "Ooh, Karl Anthony Towns really changed the game." Change it how? There's other bigs. Obviously they can play in the paint and come out to the perimeter.
We
shoot
just
the
saw one
basketball.
win the championship
I'm
in
just
the
saying,
finals
change
MVP.
that game. No.
Wrong time. You know what? The statement may have been okay if a big hadn't dominated this postseason.
I'm saying.
But you said it at the time when a big dominated the postseason, then here you come. And then had the nerve to also say, when we won that playing game, it was almost better than what the Nuggets did.
I couldn't believe it.
Cat, now you reaching. That's a stretch. That's a stretch. Now, are you a solid player? Absolutely. But honestly, is it because you're with the Timberwolves or because you just are just a solid player? I don't see superstar status in you. I don't personally see it. I'm not saying that he can't have it. I just don't see it today. I think the statement was maybe premature. Maybe it was a premature statement.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's what he's working toward. But to make it seem like that's what, if he were to leave the game today, that's what we will remember from him. No. And if you check the comments on any post where that clip was ran, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
They
if
not
anybody, I know. If anybody should say that right now, would be Steph Curry. He changed the game.
Literally.
He changed the game, not Karl Anthony Towns. What? So funny. All right, look now. Jimmy Butler.
Mhm.
Jimmy is one of our favorites. Is a fan of the show. Jimmy Butler is a friend to the show. And he says if he's inducted to the Hall of Fame, that he's not going to the ceremony. I'm like, what do you think about that?
Jimmy, he plays to the beat of his own drum. Anytime, anything is possible when you feel comfortable as a player putting on a dreadlock wig. At this point, I had to start to take your 2023 NBA season pictures. At this point, whatever Jimmy wants to do, he can do. I think his tune may change if he wins a championship. I can see it being different.
Well, I think Jimmy should have held on to the Eastern Conference Finals MVP trophy because clearly that was the only one that he was going to get, right? And I just felt like when I heard it, it just felt to me like Jimmy, okay, here's another instance of Jimmy not taking basketball seriously throughout the entire season. Like, I don't know. It's just Jimmy. I think he turns it on and off, right? And I think eventually his luck is going to run out. But when you make comments like that during the NBA Finals, mind you, as you're getting mollywopped by the Denver Nuggets, it just wasn't a good look.
I just think the statement will change. If they were to ask him 2 years from now and he happens to acquire a NBA championship and he has helped the Miami Heat or whatever team he may be on at the time hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy, it just may be different. Then he may feel comfortable going to the ceremony. He didn't say he didn't want to be inducted. Now he didn't say that. He said he would not attend the ceremony. Now, if you wanted to be real serious, you would say, "No, I wouldn't even accept the induction. I wouldn't even accept it." No, he ain't gonna do that. He just don't want to go to. I don't really want to do all that. Okay. What do you think about James Harden going to the LA Lakers?
Ugh, that stinks. Why would they bring? To me, it just makes no sense. Why would you bring James Harden? Now, granted, he has turned into a pretty good facilitator, but that's what you got LeBron James for. Who are they going to give up? Austin Reeves? They're going to give up Rui Hachimura for James Harden?
I wouldn't.
I don't think so.
For James Harden to have his epic meltdown in the playoffs again and again, nah.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't take that phone call at all.
You wouldn't even take the phone call. That's just rude. It's just rude.
Yeah, no.
No, and I don't see him and LeBron James even being able to mesh because LeBron James is temperamental. If you doing good, he's your biggest fan. But if you stinking up the joint, he becomes passive aggressive. I wouldn't do it.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't do it. No, And then
Yeah.
the whole hype is he gets to come home and he gets to come home and play for his home team.
He better ask Russ how the home team for
He
the
better,
Los Angeles Lakers treat.
he better
No.
ask. He
Mm-hmm.
better ask. I agree. 100%. Let Russ be your guy.
I know, right? All right. Now, speaking of your guide, you like Jokic, right? He's your big fan of Jokic. You picked him for your MVP.
I did.
Can you tell me why he doesn't know where his finals MVP trophy is? Like he said he left it in the equipment room. Like he has no idea where it is. What do you think about that?
He don't need the hardware in order to prove that he's actually accomplished the goal. It's just a piece. It's another thing to dust around the house. He don't care about that. You know
Jokic.
what though? It's just true to form for him. I'm not even surprised because if you ask him about any record that he may have broken, if you ask him about any thing that's in the championship that's in the future, he don't care. I mean, I'm not gonna say he doesn't care. That accolade, the outward accolade, is just not enough. He doesn't really get up for that. So the fact that he doesn't know where his trophy is, it doesn't even surprise me. Anytime you say, you know what, you the first, one of the after one of the games, the lady that was interviewing him, I forget her name, and I'm sorry about that, but she was like, "What do you think about you breaking the record? You the first person to do X." He was like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. I
whatever.
saw
I mean,
that
it's almost
too.
like whatever. Like next,
Yeah.
can I go over here and hug my baby? Like it just, you
Mm-hmm.
know what he. I read in somebody's comments regarding that. He is a 9 to 5 worker. He want to clock in, clock out, go home to his family. And I can't get mad at that. And he
Mm-hmm.
is really true to that. It's not even no way. I don't even think it's a game. It's not even something that he does. He doesn't care. Anytime he's at the podium and say, win parade,
I
Thursday,
was,
I just want to go home. I'm like, oh.
yeah.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about the showboat of it. Now, I'm quite sure he's very proud of himself for being able to accomplish a goal he probably thought he'd never accomplish. And the way
Mm-hmm.
they talk about him, like he never should have, but his skill level told us otherwise, right?
Oof.
So, but the need for all of the record breaking, the need to hold this piece of hardware, when at the end of the day, whether I have the hardware or not, I still got the award. Yeah, I think it matters to him. So I'm cool
Mm-hmm.
with that because it's just true to who he is.
Yeah, he's probably the most nonchalant superstar we have.
It is the
Kawhi
most.
Leonard, he's
Yeah,
part of that group as well.
yeah.
You could probably put Jimmy Butler in that group too, if you think about
Probably.
it.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for us as fans to grasp that. I'm okay with it because I think everybody needs to be your individual self. I'm okay with it just because everybody else wants to showboat. That doesn't mean he has to, and that doesn't mean I think less of it. I just don't do that. And so we
Mm-hmm.
need to
Mm-hmm.
accept people for who they are. And at the end of the day, his game speaks for himself. His fact that he's able to break these records speaks for itself. If I don't have a piece of hardware and I'm not over here on social media, shining and lighting it up that I do myself, then who cares? That's not what I'm here for. I want to go home. Where my horse?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Lastly, we got to talk about it. What do you think about the Ja Morant suspension of 25 games?
I think it's enough. I actually do.
I'm okay.
Because if you think about it, with his new contract, right, it totals out to about $8 million. And someone said over the span of all of the games he's missed or whatnot, it equals $50 million. That's a pretty big hit. So some might say, oh, they only gave him 25 games. Well, he had 8 for his first offense. But think about it though. His first offense was with his small contract, like his rookie deal. Now with the rookie extension, each game means a lot more
Yeah.
financially. And I think
Yeah.
the NBA took a look at that. They didn't want to give him the whole season because that would be just terrible, like $40 million. I think they
Right.
said, okay, we'll hit him for 8 million plus all the other stuff that he's lost in the negative press. I just don't know if Ja Morant will be able to come back from this 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm okay with the 25 game suspension. It is unfortunate, though, with his style of play and what he lost this 2023 season and what he will also not be eligible for 2024 with his all NBA check,
Yeah.
his MVP. He and King can't even be eligible for any of that because he's not going to play enough games. But I call it progressive disciplinary. action. It's progressive. We already gave you 8 games, and that wasn't enough. So we're gonna give you another 8 games. You think you're gonna get 2? No, 25 is appropriate, I think. Thank God he still got a contract,
Yeah.
and he's gonna be fine regardless. I mean, maybe not mentally, but financially, I think he'll be okay. I mean, what we're talking about, what's 8 million to somebody making what he makes?
Yeah.
It's not. I'm saying that to probably be facetious, but it's still money being lost, and nobody wants to lose any money, right, at any dollar amount. But at the end of the day, make better choices, And I think it's 2 things. Number one, you said you wouldn't do it again, and you did. And you made us as an NBA organization look bad. You made us look
Right.
bad. So now we have to take it a step further for us to save face. And then 2, I have to agree. You cannot call yourself a role model and be up here with the antics that you have. It's just not a good look for the NBA. Personally, you can do whatever you want to do. But the NBA as an organization, they cannot promote, they cannot be okay with that type of promotion for their brand. And so, it is what it is. But hopefully he'll come back better and stronger. What I do want to know is if the Memphis Grizzlies kill it while he out, and they do really well.
Well, that's how they usually do when he was out with injuries, right? Tyus Jones was stepping up to the plate, but they will not have Dillon Brooks next season.
That is correct. So at the top of the season in 2023, the Memphis Grizzlies went 16 of 9, and he was playing. So can they make it to the top spot? If they don't make it to the top spot in 2024, they're gonna blame it on John Morant. He's gonna get the blame then too. So I think that the Memphis Grizzlies organization will probably see a shift in culture for sure, overall, in how they manage. And if they want to know how to do it, speak with Michael Malone. I'm sorry.
Michael Malone. Wait, can we touch on Michael Malone real quick? Just a little bit. What do you think about him trolling LeBron James?
Did he actually troll LeBron James?
Okay.
Or was it the Lakers? I'm missing it. Maybe I missed it.
I saw a clip where he was on some podcast with, I think, Pat McAfee, and he talked about how nobody gave them the media attention that they deserve. When they eliminated the Lakers 4-0 in the Western Conference Finals, LeBron James tried to take all the attention by saying, oh, maybe I'll retire. You think Mike Malone took offense to that? Like, look, we are going to the NBA Finals first time, 47 years, blah, 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 blah. And y'all talking about LeBron James allegedly trying to retire just to take the attention away from us. So, yeah, I think he was trolling.
And I was here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Why wouldn't he stand up for his players and their effort? Why wouldn't he do that? And yes. And guess what? The news media took the bait. Y'all know LeBron James wasn't going to retire. I can't believe y'all even talked about it.
Exactly.
Made a big deal. And Mike Malone, he doesn't like to be called Mike Malone. Michael Malone he was like, not on my watch. Not on my watch. I loved it. I loved all the smoke. So yeah, if he was trolling, whatever. And Mr. James, you knew what it was. You knew what it was. And so if they mention your name, don't be surprised. I'm over here and you're minding my business. No, you're not. Yeah. No, you're not. No, you're not. You can't wait to see somebody speak your name in the media. You can't wait.
Exactly.
We ain't forgot about you, LeBron James. We'll never forget about you. You are that guy. Yeah, you are. But the Nuggets won the championship. And the Lakers, facts, did get swept on your watch. So what? And Michael Malone was like, you going to talk about the Nuggets? And I'm like, exactly. I loved it. I love it. And then now the new thing is there a Lakers-Nuggets rivalry?
Ain't no rivalry because they didn't win a game. The Lakers did not win a game. They got swept. It would be different if they went to a 7-game.
It would be different. Yeah.
Couldn't even win the ball game.
I would say a rivalry in the West is Sacramento and the Warriors. That may be a rivalry if we want to kind of drum one up, but not the Nuggets and the Lakers.